There are stories, whispers carried by the wind, of a creature that should not exist. A being so elusive, so mysterious, that even those who claim to have seen it are unsure of what they witnessed. Deep within the dense rainforests of the Congo, where the trees stand like ancient sentinels and the mist clings to the earth like a living thing, there exists a legend of a ghostly presence, a creature that is neither fully seen nor completely understood. Some say it's an albino beast, hidden from the eyes of modern science. Others whisper that it is no ordinary creature at all, but a spirit, a guardian of the jungle, watching from the shadows. For centuries, local tribes have spoken of a pale gorilla, larger than any known to man, that moves without a sound, its glowing eyes peering through the darkness. Hunters have chased it, explorers have sought it, but none have ever captured definitive proof of its existence. And those who get too close never speak of it again. Eyewitness accounts tell of something massive, something unnatural. Some describe a towering figure, almost human in its movements, appearing and vanishing like a phantom. Others recall hearing deep guttural growls in the night, echoes of a presence just beyond reach. But is this so-called ghost gorilla just a legend, a trick of the mind, or something far more real than we dare to believe? In this video, we'll uncover the truth behind one of the most chilling mysteries of the natural world. We'll dive into eyewitness accounts, scientific theories, and chilling encounters that may finally answer the question, is the ghost gorilla real, or just an illusion of the wild? Stay with us and decide for yourself. The legend of the ghost gorilla has been whispered for generations, passed down from elders who claim to have seen something no man should ever witness. Deep within the jungles of the Congo, where the trees form an impenetrable canopy and the air is thick with the scent of damp earth, there are those who swear they have encountered a creature unlike any known to science. Some say it is an enormous white gorilla, its fur as pale as the mist that rolls through the trees at dawn. Others insist that it is not a living being at all, but a spirit, an ancient guardian of the jungle that watches silently from the shadows. Local tribes tell stories of hunters who ventured too far into forbidden lands, never to return. The few who did make it back were changed, their eyes filled with terror, their voices trembling as they spoke of a towering figure moving through the trees, almost human in its intelligence. Some claim the ghost gorilla can vanish in the blink of an eye, leaving behind only disturbed leaves and the faintest echo of heavy footsteps. Others describe an eerie silence that falls upon the forest just before its appearance, as if the jungle itself is holding its breath. In some versions of the legend, the ghost gorilla is said to be a protector, a spirit that ensures balance within the rainforest. It is neither friend nor foe, only a watcher, enforcing the ancient laws of nature. But other accounts are far more chilling. There are tales of explorers who laughed at the legend, dismissing it as nothing more than superstition, only to disappear without a trace. Their camps found abandoned, their equipment scattered, as if something or someone had erased their presence from existence. The most famous account comes from a group of missionaries who traveled deep into the jungle in the early 1900s. They spoke of encountering a strange creature, far larger than any gorilla they had ever seen, its pale fur blending with the mist. According to their journals, the creature stared at them with deep, knowing eyes before disappearing into the undergrowth. When they tried to follow, they found nothing. No footprints, no broken branches, just the suffocating silence of the rainforest. Even in modern times, reports continue to surface. Travelers, researchers, and villagers alike have described encounters with something that defies explanation. Some dismiss it as a case of mistaken identity, the result of fear and imagination twisting shadows into monsters. But others believe the ghost gorilla is more than just a story, that it is out there, watching, waiting, hidden in the depths of the jungle. Is it a legend, a myth born from centuries of superstition? Or could there be something real behind the stories, something science has yet to uncover? For those who dismiss the ghost gorilla as nothing more than a myth, there are countless eyewitnesses who would disagree. Over the years, villagers, explorers, and even seasoned researchers have come forward with chilling accounts of encounters that defy logic. Some describe seeing a massive, pale figure moving silently through the trees, its enormous frame barely making a sound as it vanishes into the shadows. Others recall hearing deep, guttural growls in the dead of night, a sound so unnatural that even the jungle's nocturnal creatures fall silent in its presence. In 2004, a group of wildlife researchers studying primate behavior in the Congo Basin reported an encounter that left them shaken. While setting up camera traps deep in the jungle, they claimed to have seen a creature unlike any known species. It stood taller than any gorilla they had ever observed, its fur appearing almost white in the dim light filtering through the trees. But what disturbed them most was its behavior. Unlike typical gorillas, which tend to shy away from human presence, this being stood motionless, watching them with an unsettling intelligence. Then, in an instant, it was gone, disappearing into the dense undergrowth without a trace. Strange footprints have also been discovered, unlike those of any known primate. Some are too large to belong to any documented gorilla species. Others appear in places where no animal of such size should be able to move without disturbing the environment. Even more perplexing are the reports of glowing eyes seen deep within the jungle, reflecting the light of torches before vanishing into the darkness. Camera traps have captured blurry, shadowy figures, too indistinct to be considered concrete proof, but eerie enough to raise questions. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a group of poachers who claim to have had a terrifying encounter in the early hours of the morning. They were deep in the jungle when they heard heavy footsteps approaching their camp, followed by a low, rumbling growl that made the ground vibrate beneath them. Armed with rifles, they turned their lights toward the sound, only to see a towering, ghostly white figure staring back at them. According to their testimony, the creature let out a deafening roar before vanishing into the trees. They fled in terror, abandoning their supplies, convinced that what they had seen was not of this world. Despite these encounters, no definitive evidence has ever been found. Skeptics argue that the sightings are nothing more than exaggerations, a mix of fear and imagination turning natural phenomena into something supernatural. They suggest that rare albino or leucistic gorillas could explain the sightings, their pale fur creating the illusion of something otherworldly in the dim jungle light. Others propose that these are simply cases of misidentification, known animals mistaken for something far more mysterious. But for those who have seen the ghost gorilla with their own eyes, there is no doubt. They believe something is out there, something that refuses to be found, something that watches from the shadows, waiting. The stories of the ghost gorilla have captivated explorers and researchers for years, but is there a scientific explanation behind the legend? Could the creature described in these encounters be an undiscovered species, a rare mutation, or something even more mysterious? Wildlife experts have examined the reports, searching for logical explanations behind the eerie sightings. One of the most common theories suggests that the so-called ghost gorilla could be an albino or leucistic gorilla. Albino animals lack pigment in their skin and fur, giving them a ghostly white appearance, while leucistic animals have partial pigment loss, often resulting in a pale or washed-out coloration. In the dense, dimly lit jungle, an unusual white gorilla could easily be mistaken for something supernatural, especially if seen only briefly. However, there's a problem with this theory. While albino gorillas do exist, they are extremely rare, with only a handful of documented cases in history. The most famous was Snowflake, a white gorilla that lived in the Barcelona Zoo until 2003. If a similar albino gorilla were living in the wild, it would likely struggle to survive due to its lack of camouflage and increased sensitivity to sunlight. Yet, the ghost gorilla has been reported for centuries, with descriptions remaining eerily consistent. If it were a single animal, it would have long since died. This raises a bigger question. Are we dealing with a hidden population of pale-furred gorillas, or is something else at play? Other scientists argue that the sightings could be misidentifications of known species. The lowland gorillas of Central Africa are massive creatures, and under certain lighting conditions, their fur can appear lighter than normal. The way shadows play in the jungle, combined with fear and adrenaline, could turn an ordinary animal into something much more mysterious. Some researchers even speculate that the ghost gorilla may not be a gorilla at all. Could it be an undiscovered species of ape, a distant relative of early hominids, or even a surviving member of an ancient lineage thought to be long extinct? While this idea may seem far-fetched, history has proven that nature still holds secrets. Creatures once thought to be legends, like the giant squid and the okapi, were eventually proven real. Could the same be true for the ghost gorilla? But for many locals, science does not hold the answer. To them, the ghost gorilla is not just an animal, it is a spirit. According to tribal beliefs, it is a guardian of the jungle, a protector of nature that only reveals itself to those who threaten the balance of the land. Some legends say that it can sense human intentions, appearing as a warning to those who seek to exploit the rainforest. Others claim that the creature is neither alive nor dead, but something caught between worlds, forever wandering the shadows of the jungle. For believers, no amount of scientific reasoning can explain the chilling encounters, the disappearing footprints, and the overwhelming sense of being watched by something unseen. So, where does the truth lie? Is the ghost gorilla a case of mistaken identity, an undiscovered species, or a spirit of the wild? Despite years of speculation, the mystery remains unsolved. And as long as the jungle continues to whisper its secrets, the legend of the ghost gorilla will live on, haunting those who dare to venture too deep into the unknown. The only way to uncover the truth about the ghost gorilla is to go where the legend was born, deep into the heart of the Congo rainforest. Over the years, explorers and researchers have attempted to track down this elusive creature, but the jungle is an unforgiving place. Thick vegetation, dangerous wildlife, and unpredictable weather make any expedition a challenge. Yet despite the dangers, some have dared to venture into the unknown, determined to separate fact from fiction. One such expedition took place in 2012 when a team of biologists set out to study gorilla populations in one of the most remote regions of the jungle. Equipped with thermal cameras, motion sensors, and night vision technology, they hoped to capture evidence of an undiscovered primate species. For weeks, they found nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual sounds of the rainforest and the occasional glimpse of known wildlife. But on the 12th night, something happened that none of them could explain. One of their motion-triggered cameras captured footage of a large, upright figure moving silently through the trees. Unlike a gorilla, which typically moves on all fours, this being walked with an almost human-like gait. The team rushed to the location the following morning, expecting to find footprints or broken branches. Instead, they found nothing. No tracks, no signs of disturbance. It was as if whatever had passed through had left no trace at all. Other expeditions have reported similar encounters, mysterious noises in the dead of night, low, guttural growls that seem to come from nowhere, eyeshine caught in the darkness, only to vanish when approached. In one chilling account, a group of researchers described feeling as though they were being watched, an oppressive, almost predatory presence lurking just beyond their camp. One scientist even claimed to have seen a pale shape in the distance, peering at them from behind the trees. But before they could focus their cameras, it was gone. Local hunters, who know the jungle better than anyone, have their own warnings. Some refuse to enter certain parts of the forest, believing them to be sacred ground, territory that belongs to the ghost gorilla. Those who ignore the warnings often return with strange stories. Equipment malfunctioning without explanation, strange claw marks on trees, and the overwhelming sensation that they are being followed. Some claim to have heard heavy breathing just beyond the tree line, as if something massive was lurking just out of sight. But despite these eerie encounters, concrete proof remains elusive. No clear photographs, no confirmed DNA samples, nothing that could undeniably prove the ghost gorilla's existence. Still, the jungle is vast, and much of it remains unexplored. Could it be possible that something extraordinary still hides in the depths, avoiding human discovery? Or is it a ghost in more ways than one, a legend that exists only in stories and fleeting glimpses? The hunt for the truth continues, and as long as people keep searching, the mystery of the ghost gorilla will never fade. Whether it is a living creature, a guardian of the forest, or simply the result of fear and imagination, one thing is certain. Those who enter the jungle never leave quite the same. And sometimes, the most terrifying part of the unknown is knowing that something might be watching, just beyond the trees. The legend of the ghost gorilla may never be fully explained, but it continues to haunt the minds of those who dare to explore the unknown. For centuries, the dense rainforests of the Congo have concealed secrets beyond our understanding, and perhaps this mystery is just one of many waiting to be uncovered. Is the ghost gorilla a lost species, an undiscovered primate lurking in the depths of the jungle? Or is it something far more mysterious, a spirit, a guardian, or even a warning to those who venture too deep? Skeptics argue that the lack of physical evidence makes it nothing more than a folktale, a creation of human imagination influenced by fear and superstition. They point out that in an age of advanced technology, with satellites scanning the Earth and camera traps capturing wildlife in the most remote locations, a creature of such size should have been documented by now. And yet, it remains a shadow, always seen but never caught, always felt but never proven. But those who have encountered it tell a different story. They speak of a presence that cannot be explained, of something watching from the darkness, moving just beyond the edge of sight. To them, the ghost gorilla is real as the trees, the rivers, and the endless canopy of the jungle. The fear in their voices, the certainty in their eyes, it is enough to make even the most hardened skeptics hesitate. What if they are right? What if there truly is something out there, something that does not want to be found? The world is still full of mysteries, and history has shown us time and again that what we believe to be myth can sometimes turn out to be real. The deep sea, the vast wilderness, the uncharted territories of our planet, all hold secrets we have yet to uncover. The ghost gorilla may be one of those secrets, hiding in the depths of the rainforest, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. So what do you believe? Is the ghost gorilla just another legend? A tale passed down through generations, shaped by fear and imagination? Or is there something more to the stories? Something we have yet to understand? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you ever find yourself deep in the jungle, far from civilization, and you hear the sound of heavy footsteps in the darkness, remember this story. Because sometimes the things we dismiss as myths are the ones that watch us when we least expect it.